Well, I think it's important for us to share our AMP-3 story and let people know kind of how our company started and why we kind of do what we do. And the education part is so important to us, and how, you know, this started a long time ago, and AMP-3 started in 2011, but we've been really kind of preparedness minded since probably the 80s.
I'm keeping track.
I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, I'm ready.
It's great having a blonde CEO, but there are some issues. Okay, ready? We're going to say hi. My name is Beth.
Shush.
Welcome to our fireside chat.
Hush.
Want me to write it on the glass window?
No.
Okay.
He's making fun of me. Okay. Hi, my name is Beth. Welcome to our first fireside chat. We wanted to share the story of AMP-3, the Austere Medical and Practical Preparedness Project.
You did it.
Done.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to just stop the cameras for a second.
Stop the cameras! The tape is rolling.
So I got to let him just kind of get caught up with that.
Yeah, because
Okay, here we go.
we don't want to use up the film.
So I'm kind of glad we're doing this, because I want to share, I think, one of the most important things for us, and that is you are like, I don't think people realize that you are the force behind AMP-3, so I'm kind of glad to share that.
Okay.
Well, AMP-3, the Austere Medical and Practical Preparedness Project, really started with a single video that I put out on YouTube about an iFAK. Now, what is an iFAK? iFAK stands for Individual First Aid Kit. It's an acronym. And if you're in preparedness, law enforcement, or the military, that's a very familiar term. Being an emergency physician, I always have people showing me first aid kits. And I had a kit that I used for quite a long time. I put a video out thinking, oh, just put a video out and move on to something else. That video resulted in a lot of email and private messages just asking, where can I buy that kit? And honestly, I was quite surprised, because I thought the video showed not only how to build the kit, but I also gave a PDF on where you could purchase the items to build the kit. The kit is about the size of an MRE. This is the current iFAK that we are producing with AMP-3, and it is very similar to the original iFAK that I put out on YouTube. So AMP-3, the Austere Medical and Practical Preparedness Project, really is a product of a YouTube video, a single iFAK or individual first aid kit, and before you know it, Beth and I have a full-blown company. We are shipping products around the world. We have repeat customers.
How it came to be was you giving away those iFAKs for years, probably 20 years. David built this iFAK and gave it away to all of his friends. And I said to him, you should build some of those and maybe sell them. He's like, yeah, no one would want to buy those. And I said, well, how do you know? You've got that YouTube video thing. Why don't you do like a video, build maybe 10 kits, and we can set up a little online thing and try and sell them that way and see how it goes. And it took us about 2.5 to 3 weeks to build 10 kits, and now I can build 20 kits in about a couple days. It took a long time to resource all the things that are in the iFAK, and then we had to heat shrink everything. Remember when we first started, you were like heat shrinking everything and vacuum packing everything, and it took like a really long time just to do all of that. Or now we package everything in lock sacks, our big thing.
That's our gold standard.
That's our gold standard, right?
And you know it now better than me. I made these kits, and now I need you to instruct me how to build them. But we definitely have a system of packing them.
Yeah.
And if
it's
it deviates, it's not right.
No, and it's harder to pack them. So that first initial run of 10 kits took us about 2.5 to 3 weeks to build them. And then we put them online, and David did a little video, which back then I was like, I don't even know what YouTube is. I had no clue. And they sold in an hour.
Well, the website that we made was starting to sell kits that we didn't have. Right?
It's true. It's true. And then you did that first trade show in Seaside. I think you went to CPAC for the very first time at Seaside, and you had these little white trays with like what you only had the iFAK.
That's right. We had those little
The
white
little white
trays
trays with
that
the
I
little-
got from the hospital.
Right, the
and
little tag.
We
We made
wrote a
little
little
tags.
tag, and we had we made a batch of iFAKs, which was a chore.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of other items, and we also became vendors for Right in the Rain.
Right in the Rain.
Which is
yeah.
I know you'll talk about that,
Yeah.
but that's a fundamental part of
Right.
all of our kits.
But anyway, getting back to how we sold the first ones, they sold in an hour, and David was like, yeah, those are just my YouTube buddies. And I said, okay, why don't we build 25?
Well, we got a little panicked though, and we turned that website off
We did turn it
and
off.
kind of
Yeah,
did
because
a
they sold too fast.
Yeah, we did a regroup and said, what do we do?
What do we do? So we thought, well, let's try it again. Let's build 25, and maybe they won't be YouTube buddies, and we'll see how it goes. We still are. We're cash funding. We cash fund our business. And so, but back then it was like, okay, we have, $25, and what can we buy for $25?
Well, so exactly. So we would have a small amount of money,
Yeah.
and bless your heart, you've been a great steward of the resources of this company. But we would get a small amount of money, and at that time, I mean a small amount of money.
$10, $15, $20.
And you would order like
I'd order
3 of this, 4 of this, and now,
Oh,
and
gosh,
we're not
order-
that big yet, but I
order
mean,
hundreds at a time.
Yeah.
So we built the 25. David did another YouTube video, and those sold in an hour and a half. And at that point, we had a company. I mean, we launched AMP-3 in March of 2011, and but we've been in preparedness for a long time.
the only one take video that I recall is your brother doing a spackling video in one take.
Say, if it makes somebody's spackling experience easier, then we've done our job.